Previously, two generations of football kings, Pele and Maradona, dominated an era. Mero's unparalleled double pride currently dominates the football world. When Shuangjiao grows old, people are searching for new Shuangjiao. But what will end the era of Mero will not be the new double pride, but rather a player from the football desert. He is Lin Kedi, a victorious opponent. He ended an era, or rather, he completed the evolution from humans to gods. The title of King of the Ball is no longer enough to address him. So, starting from today, call me Ball God. The introduction is a bit second in the middle, which may be modified later. Keywords of the novel. What is the King of the Ball? Call me the God of the Ball without a pop-up window. What is the King of the Ball? Call me the God of the Ball. Download the complete text, What is the King of the Ball? Call me the God of the Ball, and read the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Super Genius. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 2. Diamonds. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Diamonds. The next day, Van der Sar drove to the Ludens neighborhood in northern Amsterdam. This is a block closer to Amsterdam's commercial port. However, since entering this block, Van der Sar has been frowning frequently. Because this is a slum. A group of street wanderers can be seen gathering everywhere on the street to suck things. As for what he really sucked, Van der Sar didn't want to think too much. Living in such a place is definitely not a good thing for Lin Kedi. Finally, the car drove to the entrance of Lin Kedi's parents' apartment. How old? Vanessa walked to room 301 on the third floor. Knock on the door. Knocking. Here we go. The voice of Lin Kedi came from the other side of the door. As the footsteps gradually came, Vanessa quickly squeezed out a smiling expression. Open the door, it is indeed this handsome-looking young man. Lin, are your parents here? Oh, they're here, but their English is just average, so. It's okay, let me tell you, just translate for your parents. Your English is very good. That's good, Mr. Vanessa, please come in. As soon as Vanessa stepped into the door, he immediately saw a middle-aged couple standing up from the sofa. It can only be said that this house is easily accessible. Vanessa greeted and surveyed the house. The house is relatively neat, but there is not much furniture, and there is no TV at home. The sofa is also in a relatively old style. Vanessa immediately realized that this was another couple who came to the Netherlands to work for a living. Moreover, it is obvious that they have no leisure life other than work, and the lack of furniture at home also indicates that this house is a resting place for the couple. Lin Kedi poured water and handed it to Vanessa. Because there is no coffee table in this house either. Vanessa took a sip. Well, hot water. Sure enough, it's true that Chinese people like to drink hot water online. Vanessa immediately placed hot water on the ground. Then he looked at Lin Kedi. Mr. Vanessa, this is my father Lin Daosheng, and this is my mother Su Yanli. Hello, it's nice to meet you. Mr. Lin and Ms. Su. I came to visit your house today and I believe you all understand my purpose. However, before that, I would like to ask you to hear my proposal. Mr. Van der Sar. I am actually about to persuade my parents, but they have also said that if these requirements are not met, they will not agree. Vanessa saw Link handing over a notebook. There are several pieces of content written in English above. Take advantage of Vanessa's watching. Su Yanli couldn't help but speak to Lin Kedi. Conquering the enemy, your grades are average. Before staying in China, we hoped that you could become a sports student, so that we could pursue the path of being a talented student in the future. Your father and I have been frugal in the Netherlands for so many years, and with your uncle taking care of us, we cannot afford to suffer losses. Our future is for you, and everything is for your own good. So, if Mr. Fan and I agree to these conditions, then it would be better for you to stay in the Netherlands than in China. We definitely agree to your stay in the Netherlands. Speaking, Su Yanli touched Lin Kedi's head. Mom. Lin Kedi is about to speak. Suddenly, I saw Vanessa put down his notebook. Lin, I have looked at your parents' demands. I can clearly tell you that we will all agree to these demands. Moreover, the conditions I have provided are actually even better than these demands. Lin Daoxing and Su Yanli immediately realized something when they saw the joyful expression on Lin Kedi's face. Lin Daoxing immediately grabbed his wife's hand, and both of them were very excited. Lin Kedi also translated Vanessa's words to Lin Daoxing and Su Yanli. Upon hearing this, the two confirmed their hypothesis and were even more delighted. Then Van der Sar began to talk about the conditions he had given. We will first arrange for Lin to enter the high school we cooperate with, Notre Dame High School, which is one of the top 5 high schools in Amsterdam. Secondly, all of our training is conducted after school, which is our guarantee. In addition, we will also hire professional family mentors to provide 1.1 course guidance for him, such as English and Dutch. Thirdly, Lin's annual salary is €10,000, which I know cannot compare to the annual salary of youth team players from big clubs such as Real Madrid and Barcelona. However, in Dutch League 1, I believe this is definitely the highest level. For comparison, I can show you some data, the latest. In 2015, which is the data for this year, the average annual salary of young people aged 20.24 in the Netherlands was €17,000. Lin's annual salary is indeed lower than theirs, but we will only sign a youth contract for 3 years. After signing a professional contract at the age of 18, Lin's annual salary will significantly increase. I believe that with Lin's talent, he can definitely sign a professional contract with us. P.S. I have noticed that many people are conflicted about the low amount of money, but even now in 2023, the substitute goalkeeper for Ajax U18 only earns an annual salary of just over €5,000. What I have found is that in the book, Lin Kedi was favored by Ajax and only gave an annual salary of €10,000 from the beginning, which is definitely high for a player who has just entered the Ajax youth team system. After Ajax players sign professional contracts, their salaries are indeed not low, with those earning over €200,000 per year, but that is signing professional contracts. Now it is a youth contract. There is also data on young people aged 20.24 in the Netherlands, and I have data on them. It was directly found on an official website of the Dutch government's economic department. Many people look at it with inherent ideas, thinking that players from developed countries can have such low salaries. But the fact is, it's only when it comes to professional players that their salaries are much higher than those of ordinary people. It's just that with youth player contracts, there really isn't a higher salary than ordinary people. In fact, when they heard about their annual salary, Lin Daoxing and Su Yanli were already shocked. You should know that their annual salary alone is not much higher than Lin Kedi's. And now my son can earn money on his own. At this moment, Su Yanli only felt a sense of relief in her heart, and Su Daoxing also touched her son's head. Next, our youth training camp, the Future Youth Training Center Academy, has the most top-notch facilities in Europe. Similarly, there are also dormitories inside. If Lin needs it, he can live inside, and the school is only a few hundred meters away from the training base, very close. So here, he can definitely receive the best education in the Netherlands and the best youth training in the world. After finishing these words, Lin Daoxing and Su Yanli exchanged a glance. Then he said a few words to Lin. Finally, Lin Kedi looked at Vanessa. Mr. Van der Sar, my parents have agreed, and now we can sign the contract. Really? Ho! Vanessa let out an excited ho. Then he took Lin Kedi and his parents to the office building in Ajax. This building is located next to the Amsterdam Arena. In the conference room, Van der Sar handed a contract to Lin Kedi. This is your right, and we will hire a lawyer to supervise and review this contract. You are his client, and I have already arranged it in advance. Lin Kedi shook hands with the female lawyer named Mingtiz, and then Mingtiz came to carefully examine the contract. After a period of time, Mindiz looked at Link and said a few words beside Link. Lin Kedi looked at Vanessa. Mr. Vanessa, Ms. Mintiz said it's okay, so can we sign the contract now? Van der Sar looked at Lin Kedi's eager expression and was even more excited. Van der Sar could sense that this young player would be the best player he had signed in his managerial career. So, with a click, the news of the signing made it onto the front page of Ajax's official website. You should know that the signing of young players will not appear on the official website homepage. And Van der Sar said directly to the website administrator. Always put it on the homepage. We want to announce to the world that we have signed a diamond-like player. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. New Arrival. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 4. I am new. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. I am new. Hello Lin, I am Mark Overmars, the technical director of Ajax. Today, I will take you to Notre Dame High School, your new school. After this opening statement, Lin Kedi got into the Overmars car, a Mercedes SUV, but Lin Kedi didn't know much about the opposing car, so he didn't know what model it was. Mr. Overmars, there's something I'm not quite familiar with yet. Is Dutch used in teaching at Notre Dame High School? But I only know English, and my English is not very proficient. Notre Dame High School is also a multilingual school with teaching in both Dutch and English. There are English and Dutch classes available, so rest assured that we will definitely send you to the English class. And you don't have to worry about your English proficiency. Our club will hire a private tutor to teach you Dutch and English. After each day's training, there will be a teacher specifically to teach you. That way, I can rest assured. It's really close from the training base to Notre Dame High School. So close that Lin Kedi felt there was no need to drive. At Notre Dame High School, a very ordinary gate, Overmars stopped the car and then took Lin Kedi to find the principal. After some communication, Lin Kedi was assigned to Class A3 of the English class. A3 class is not a further education class, and it does not prioritize university as its primary goal. Teaching will not be so intense, and of course, it is also the most suitable class for us Ajax young players. Mr. Overmars. You can call me Mark directly. Okay Mark, do many players on our youth team attend Notre Dame High School? That's right. Ajax doesn't have many players in their high school age group, only about 19 people in total, and there are only 10 people in Notre Dame High School. Among them, there are 3 players in the same team as you in this high school. However, they are all in their 3rd year of high school, and they are not in the same class as you. I will get to know each other well then. Subsequently, Lin Kedi bid farewell to Overmars and was then taken to Class A3 in English by the principal, Dana Modena, a middle-aged black woman. However, it is obvious that it is already time for class. Lin Kedi glanced at the whiteboard, English literature class. As soon as the teacher in class saw the principal with a black-haired Asian boy at the door, he immediately threw his pen at the podium table and walked out quickly. Principal. Ms. Mona, this is a new student. At this time, are new students coming? Ms. Mona, he is a player for the Ajax U18 youth team. Lin Kedi keenly observed the complex expression in Mona's eyes after hearing these words. Lin Kedi realized that this must be something that his teammates had done in school, so he left behind the influence. But this has nothing to do with oneself. So Lin Kedi doesn't care about these either. The principal explained a few words and then left. Then Mona walked into the classroom with Lin Kedi. Let me briefly introduce yourself. This class will be the place where you will spend the longest time in this school. Lin Kedi thought to himself, you deliberately spoke at such a slow pace, which means something. Lin Kedi looked around. There are only about 15 students in this class, which is very empty. Moreover, in the English A3 class, more than half of the students have obvious Asian or yellow faces, while the remaining half are black. In the end, there are only 3 white students, and the good news is that 2 of the 3 white students are girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. There is no doubt that Lin Kedi can save the basic information of 15 people in his own brain just by looking around. His memory has been very good since childhood, often being able to remember at a glance. His parents naturally treated him very well from a young age. Speaking of which, it comes back. Lin Kedi briefly introduced himself. Hello everyone, my name is Lin Kedi, from Hubei, China. I love football and am a player for the Ajax youth team. After speaking, Lin Kedi glanced at Mona. The last seat in the 5th row is empty for you to sit in. Lin Kedi just walked over and sat down. A black guy in front of him turned around. Yo, Chinese people play football. Really? You can check out the Ajax official website. The black boy turned his head with a puzzled expression on his face. 10 seconds later. Oh, OMG. Chinese people are really players of the Ajax youth team. Philip, sit down. Of course what Lin said is true, can we still deceive you? Let's continue with the class. After the black boy Philip made such a fuss, the rustling sound in the class could no longer stop. Soon, the lesson on Macbeth, one of Shakespeare's 4 great tragedies, came to an end. The course has just ended. A circle of people quickly gathered around Lin Kedi. Hello, my name is Zhang Cheng, from Jiangxi. These are all Chinese people. Lin Kedi also stood up and shook hands with Zhang Cheng. He could see that this person who looked a bit like Lin Yongjian was the kind of person who was more confident and liked to be the leader in a group. However, Lin Kedi doesn't care about these either. Hello, my name is Lin Dana, from Tianjin. Qing Dao Shun, from BJ. Li Loi, from Hong Kong. Lin Kedi took a look and found that there were still 3 people who looked like yellow people left. So he looked at Zhang Cheng. Aren't those 3 Chinese people? Those 3 are 1 from Japan, 2 from Korea. The little-eyed boy is Korean, and the remaining 2 girls are Korean. The one wearing high heels is Korean, and the one wearing cute is Japanese. You know very well. Of course, we came a month earlier than you, and of course we got to know each other. However, I just heard your self-introduction and your English is very standard. Did you also study abroad in junior high school? No, I only arrived in the Netherlands a few days ago. So. Old Cheng, others are also coming to meet Lin Kedi. Qing Dao Shun looked back and sure enough, everyone else in the classroom was looking here. So, the 4 Chinese people returned to their seats. The 3 people mentioned earlier have come over. Hello, I'm Jin Jiju. Nice to meet you. I didn't expect our class to have a player playing for the Ajax youth team. It's really amazing. This Korean named Jin Jiju spoke to Lin Kedi with a smile on his face. To be honest, speaking with such a smile really made Lin Kedi unable to resist. He also smiled and said a few words to Jin Jiju. My name is Lin Jixiao, and it's written in Chinese characters like this. May I ask if Lin Kedi's Lin is the same character? Yes, that's the word. Great. Although Lin Kedi doesn't know what's good. My name is Akira Onban, from Kyoto, Japan. My English is not very good, nice to meet you. After all the Asians have seen it. Lin Kedi breathed a sigh of relief. This high-intensity socializing really made him feel a bit tired. Next, black people took turns coming up again. However, Lin Kedi was not particularly interested in them, so he skipped them directly. The last 3 white people came over. Hello, I'm Jack Brisrand. I didn't expect our class to have an Ajax player. I'm a loyal Ajax fan. Which youth team are you from? I'm from the U18 team. U18. Really? Jack Brisrand clearly wanted to say more. But at this moment, the bell for the next class rang. My name is and Staunton. Her name is Brita Jet. Let me tell you in advance, we are good friends. Lin Kedi expressed understanding. I can only say that this 15-minute break is too informative. But I recognized everyone in just 15 minutes. Lin Kedi believes that there must be a bonus for the Ajax youth team. Because when Lin Kedi was chatting with white and black people just now, he clearly felt that his fellow countrymen were not very familiar with these foreigners. However, Lin Kedi's current thoughts have all gone to the training ground. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Became an influential person so quickly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 6. Playing football according to intuition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Playing football according to intuition. Quickly, Lin Kedi got to know his teammates clearly. The Ajax U18 team has a total of 21 players, and Lin Kedi himself is 22. As a youth team, 22 players are not too many. However, Ajax's organization is different after all. As the top team of the youth team, U19 shoulders the mission of playing in the Youth Champions League and the Dutch Youth League, so its personnel are relatively fixed. The U18 team, on the other hand, will continuously attract people from the lower echelons, and also continuously provide talent to the U19 team above, even to the higher Ajax second team, also known as the reserve team, also known as the Ajax youth team. So, the personnel turnover of the U18 team is very large, basically keeping the odd number of 18 members fixed, and the remaining quota is for mobility. Lin Kedi only met his teammates for the first time today. So as soon as Enzo arrived, he arranged for two teams to play an internal match. 22 people, exactly divided into two teams. Lin Kedi was unexpectedly placed on the substitute team. As for how to determine which team is a substitute and which team is a starter, it is actually quite simple, because Captain Fernando is in the team of Lin Kedi's opponent. Captain is generally a key player, especially in this youth team. Lin Kedi was placed in the position of left winger by Enzo. His teammate on the front line is center Andrei Sesk, a Czech center who is 1.85 meters tall. The right winger is Filippo Jr., a Brazilian, at 1.71 meters. The three midfielders are Pedrick, two center-backs, Pojazovic, and Moli United. Lin Kedi briefly scanned around and then stood at the center-line position, waiting for the whistle of assistant coach Belia, who is serving as the head referee for this game. At this moment, the members of both teams were eagerly waiting for the start of the game. Finally, accompanied by a long whistle from assistant coach Belia, the competition has officially begun. For Lin Kedi, this may be the most important game of his life so far. After all, the outcome of this game will largely determine one's position within the team. This is a very practical thing. He wants to play football, he yearns to play, he hates sitting on the bench, although he hasn't sat a few times. So, Lin Kedi has been carefully watching the ball's movement on the field. At this point, the ball is at the feet of the main team. The center of the main team, Ming Deli, is about to break through with the ball at this moment. Ming Deli is a standard small center forward with a playing style that Lin Kedi felt a bit similar to Agüero's style at first glance. The dribbling speed is very fast, the feet are very good, but I don't know how to shoot. Just as he was thinking about it, Mingdari had already hit the wall with his teammate Jack Ilias and reached the front left corner of the penalty area. Mingdari received Jack's pass and was about to shoot. But the ball is quite biased. With such thoughts in mind, Lin Kedi ran towards the front field from his defensive position without even a single shot. Enzo on the sidelines began to record something in his notebook. At this point, Lin Kedi clearly felt that his teammates were increasing their enthusiasm. Just thinking about it, holding an internal match at this time definitely means testing oneself, and for these substitute players, it is also an opportunity for performance. Just now Enzo's handwriting on the sideline notebook was clearly seen by the substitute players. So the performance on the field suddenly became much more positive. From the beginning of the game until now, it has been 5.6 minutes since Lin Kedi hit the ball without a single touch. However, Lin Kedi did not give up and has been actively running. At around 7 minutes, Lin Kedi keenly observed that the main team's midfielder, Ren, had a larger ball stop. Although Lin Kedi was still a bit far from Ren, he rushed forward without even thinking about it. Forcing Ren. In fact, Lin is still quite a distance away from Lin Kedi, but when he was rushed over like this, he felt a bit flustered and wanted to protect the ball in his first reaction. But in this way, Andre behind him had a chance. Andre looked around and was about to grab the ball. Lin, after all, is a 17-year-old boy who was snatched by 2 consecutive teams and just got the ball stolen. Lin Kedi saw the situation and decisively thrust forward. Although Andre is fast, he is still in the middle. As soon as he steals the ball, the opposing midfielder Minsk immediately charges forward. At this moment, Lin Kedi was determined to insert behind the center back, so he immediately shouted in English, "Pass here." Lin Kedi shouted loudly, and Andre no longer hesitated and passed it with one foot. At this moment, Lin Kedi only had one full back, Bern, by his side. As soon as Lin Kedi received the ball, it seemed to stick to Lin Kedi's foot. Lin Kedi firmly stopped the ball and faced Bern in front of him. He lifted the ball with his left foot and suddenly pulled and pushed forward with his right foot. Then, his left shoulder sank and he wiped it from Bern's side. "Good ball!" Enzo shouted out while watching from the sidelines. In his opinion, Lin Kedi's dribbling just now could already indicate his top-notch sense of the ball, and then, after a deep flying ball, the combination of passing players was very perfect. It passed in a moment. This ball feels really strong. While Enzo was still sighing, Lin Kedi had already rushed into the penalty area. At this moment, Andre also rushed into the penalty area and reached out for the ball. Lin Kedi actually doesn't want to pass, he feels like he has a chance to shoot. Coincidentally, Andre was surrounded by the opponent's 2 major center-backs in front of him, so Lin Kedi did not hesitate and did not procrastinate. With a flick of the right foot, take the far corner arc ball directly. This ball. Enzo is currently the commentator's upper body. In. Lin Kedi's heart relaxed when he saw the ball enter the net. At this point, he didn't know whether to celebrate or how to celebrate. Just as he hesitated, Andre had already run over and hugged Lin Kedi in one fell swoop. What a beautiful goal. It's a curved ball outside the penalty area. Teammates also rushed over. Lin Kedi also recovered from confusion. This is his first time scoring a goal on a non-field against Ajax U18's main team. Lin Kedi felt a sense of joy from the bottom of his heart. So, Lin Kedi smiled in front of his teammates. Enzo on the sidelines was writing with great enthusiasm. Subsequently, the youth team level match ended in 45 minutes. The final score is 2.1, with the main team scoring 2 goals and the substitute team scoring 1 goal. Yes, although Lin Kedi scored a very beautiful curved ball, his overall strength is not as good as the main team. Did you lose or did you lose? After the game, Enzo arranged for the players to run circles for training. Then Enzo called his assistant coach Belia over. Do you think Lin should play football according to his intuition? After speaking, Enzo looked at Siberia with bright eyes. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Tiredness attacks. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Tiredness attacks. Belia looked towards Enzo. I have reviewed the materials and you have told me that he has not received professional training. However. But in today's 45-minute game, I can't see that at all. Although he hasn't received professional training, his running is very active. His forward thrust, his speed, his foot feel, and his passing movements are all very beautiful, more like he has received professional training than our young man. His biggest weaknesses now may be his physical fitness and ball-free running. After all, he has not received professional training, and his ability to read games may still be lacking. The next thing we need to do for him is to improve his abilities in these areas. Of course, there is one more thing Enzo did not say to Belia, which is that Van der Sar hopes he can be promoted to the reserve team as soon as possible to play in the Dutch second division. Enzo just needs to know this kind of thing himself, there's no need to tell Siberia as well. Enzo. His shooting is quite decisive in my opinion, and he must be very talented in shooting. I think strengthening this aspect is possible. Let him improve his physical fitness first, otherwise, a player with only half-court physical fitness will be of no use. After listening, Siberia nodded to show understanding. The coaching staff is in a meeting here. On the other side, there is a changing room after the game. Some key players took the initiative to find Lin Kedi. Link. Watching the white man in front of me struggling to say his name. Just call me Lin. Okay, Lin. Your performance today was really good. Your footed shot was very beautiful, and you shot so decisively. It looks like you were also a key striker in your previous team, right? Fernando Santos, as the captain of U18, took the initiative to come and talk to Lin Kedi. However, for himself, Lin Kedi's performance in these 45 minutes really impressed him. People with strength will be respected wherever they go. Therefore, Santos is straightforward and wants to get closer to Link's enemy. Yes, I used to play as a left winger in my previous teams, and sometimes I also played as a center forward. Center, you're 15 years old, and now you're about 1.75 meters tall. Is that Agüero's template? At this point, Drynusino also joined the chat. Deli knew, Lin is already 1.75 meters old at the age of 15, and he can definitely grow taller. Besides, Lin's speed is so fast, he definitely won't be a template like Agüero's. That's right, let's not talk about that anymore. Lin, I just heard the coach say, are you also from Notre Dame High School? Yes, I only enrolled today, but I have already heard of your name. Our Ajax youth team players' names are a pass for high school girls' pickups. Derinus clearly expressed interest and wanted to say more, but was reminded by Santos's elbow strike. Drynu didn't continue to talk about the topic of fishy smell. That's right, Lin. You're only 15 years old, and even in our Netherlands, it's not recommended to do those things at this age. Especially since we're still athletes, it's always right to maintain this aspect. The two big shots of U18 took the initiative to come and talk to Lin Kedi, so the main players of U18 came over to chat with Lin Kedi. Including Jack Ilias, who had previously appeared hostile towards Link. At this moment, Lin Kedi also deeply felt what it means to speak with strength. In a team like U18, if you demonstrate your strength, then you can easily gain respect. At this moment, Lin Kedi naively thought that this would be the case in all teams. After finishing the afternoon training, the local players naturally went straight home. And Lin Kedi and several teammates who lived in the dormitory of the youth training base went to the cafeteria of the training base together. The food in the cafeteria is all very good. Filippo Junior is Link's roommate, so as soon as the training is over, Filippo takes the initiative to pull Link to the cafeteria. Filippo Ru, just call me Filippo, my friends call me that. Oh, okay, Filippo, will the first team also go to this cafeteria we're going to? Of course not. The cafeteria we're going to is the youth team cafeteria, but it's actually the youth team cafeteria. In fact, the second team also eats here, while the first team is a separate cafeteria. That's it. After returning to my room tonight, I'll talk to you in detail about the things to pay attention to at the base. Are we the only ones living in the base dormitory? Actually, it's just me, you, and Jack Ilias and Min Skendi. There are also a few foreigners who live in host families. Filippo, what is the difference between a host family and a dormitory? Anyway, it's quite complicated, and I'm not quite sure, but if you can live in the dormitory, you can just laugh. What's wrong? Dormitories are much better than host families, don't you think? It's great not to have to rely on others. When Lin Kedi thought about that scene, he felt goosebumps all over his body. Yes, that's enough without having to rely on others. Moreover, it's easy for us peers to get along with each other. Lin Kedi saw Filippo frowning and making eyes at him, and something instantly came to his mind. Hey! I don't do that kind of thing. Filippo saw Lin Kedi's serious expression and had some doubts. What? What thing? That kind of thing. Yellow, gambling, and drugs. Oh, you're talking about this. Don't worry, don't think I'm Brazilian just because I know those things. Besides, poison is the biggest enemy of professional athletes. I don't want to be like Mutu. That's good. After all, Amsterdam is a place like this. There's no shortage of pornography, gambling, and drugs. I don't want to become a drug addict, all kinds of addiction. Of course, since there is a dream of becoming a professional athlete, these things you're talking about should naturally be kept away, but... But what? However, it depends on how you define Huang. Look at how many times Eshin has played overnight, he is also an excellent player. Don't talk about these things while eating. Lin Kedi and Filippo walked to the cafeteria. Lin Kedi picked up the plate and walked around. The main staple foods were mashed potatoes, pasta, and rice. The main dishes include spinach and a bunch of vegetables that Lin Kedi doesn't know. As for meat, there are fish, sausages, beef, chicken, and so on. They are all cut into slices. It doesn't seem to have much deliciousness. However, it seems that being fully managed is certain. At this moment, Lin Kedi remembered what Enzo had said. If you're eating, you don't have much to pay attention to right now. As long as you don't eat to death, you can handle a training session no matter what you eat. Don't worry about it when you grow up, let alone our training intensity is guaranteed. The fact is, after training for an afternoon, Lin Kedi now finished his meal and sat down in a chair, feeling endless drowsiness. After the previous period of excitement has passed, fatigue follows. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Language classes after training. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Language classes after training. Lin, don't sleep anymore. After finishing, you can go back to the dormitory and sleep well. After being awakened by Filippo, Lin Kedi instinctively picked up a fork and started eating spaghetti. It has to be said that although the pasta in the cafeteria may not be as good as those in good Western restaurants, it is still much better than the pasta that Lin Kedi used to eat in fast food restaurants. The thick black pepper sauce wrapped around the pasta is very smooth, and after biting, it is very tough and elastic. Stuff your head into your mouth and chew randomly. Put 2 more pieces of beef on the fork, dip in the black pepper sauce on the plate, and put it into your mouth. A meat aroma accompanied by the unique aroma of black pepper will spread out. How about it? Although it's just these simple things, the taste is delicious, isn't it? Indeed, the appearance doesn't look very good, but it's still quite delicious. Is that right? Another chaotic meal. After finishing their meal, the two of them walked towards the dormitory. On the way, Filippo wiped his mouth and said, "Lin, don't you need to learn a language? I remember when I first arrived, I learned English and Dutch for a year. By the way, if you don't say it, I haven't remembered yet. I still have an English language class tonight." "You're so good at English, what else are you learning?" "I'm just chatting with you in English that I understand. If you think it's good, your English may not be very good either." After speaking, Lin Kedi hurriedly ran towards the office building. Only Filippo, who remained in place to ponder. Lin Kedi hurriedly rushed to the conference room on the third floor of the office building. The night language class that Enzo and Lin Kedi said before is here. Lin Kedi pushed open the door, but there was no one yet. Just about to sit down. A sound came from the position of the gate behind me. Lin Kedi, you came very early. Authentic Chinese. Lin Kedi was stunned for a moment and turned around to look. He is a white person with blonde hair and blue eyes. He looks very tall, according to Lin Kedi's vision, he should be around 1.75 meters tall. He is wearing a denim jacket on his upper body, yoga tight pants on his lower body, and a pair of running shoes. In short, this combination is quite common in the Netherlands. When Lin Kedi first arrived, he was surprised to see the women here wearing autumn pants and going out. But after understanding it, I know that tight pants and yoga pants are already popular items. The woman across from her clearly felt the gaze of the handsome guy wandering around her. But she wasn't angry either, because she could feel that her student's gaze wasn't fixed on her chest. It seems that it should be scrutinizing. Hello, I am your English and Dutch teacher Effie Lewis. My Chinese name is Effie Lu. I am from that continent. Hello, my name is Lin Kedi. The one who defeated the enemy is Shuangjiao. Don't be so restrained, I'm not much older than you either. I'm only in my sophomore year this year. You're only 20 years old. Lin Kedi felt uncomfortable as soon as he spoke these words. But it's obvious that Effie doesn't really mind. White women tend to mature earlier. It's normal for you to mistake your age. Alright, before starting class, let's chat for a while, which will also facilitate our future studies. Okay, teacher, you're so good at Chinese. Are you studying Chinese or are you? Ha, you're not the first person to say that I'm good at Chinese. However, I'm still very grateful. I've always been proud of being good at Chinese. After all, I've never been to China, but every Chinese person I see praises my Chinese, which is a recognition for me. As for my Chinese, I have been choosing Chinese as my language course since junior high school. Until now, I have studied Chinese cultural research in college, and now I have to watch Chinese TV dramas and movies every week to maintain my language sense. Chatting with Chinese people is better for maintaining a sense of Chinese language. That's right, so I came to apply for this position. I didn't expect to be selected right away. You just said you haven't been to China. Why? Xiaolin, do you know that for a trip to China, I can't afford that plane ticket alone, it's too expensive. I'm also working now to save up for my travel expenses. Oh, that's it. At this moment, Lin Kedi remembered the price of the plane ticket he saw when he flew from Wuhan to the Netherlands with defulance. It is indeed not something that ordinary people can afford. Come to my senses. Effie's face suddenly came very close. Lin Kedi instinctively leaned back. You, what are you doing? I've noticed that you're very handsome, it's just that you haven't grown up. Are you okay? Don't be humble, you must have been pursued by many girls when you were in junior high school. Where is it? When I was in junior high school. At this moment, Lin Kedi remembered his experience of being given milk tea and chocolate by a girl in middle school, and he closed his mouth. Definitely there is, it depends on your appearance. Your appearance is also likable in the Netherlands. I don't rely on my face. Indeed, what I want to say is that Ajax really values you. I thought I would not only teach you, but also teach many young players English and Dutch. But Mr. van der Sar personally interviewed me, and you don't know how excited I was at that time. He told me, I am your exclusive teacher. Please, you are not a first-team player. Among young team players, you are the first one to receive such good treatment. This also indicates that the club really values you. Are you a fan of Ajax? Of course. Are there people in Amsterdam who are not Ajax fans? Do they exist? After about 10 minutes of chatting, Lin Kedi discovered that Ai Fei is a very lively person, with a good appearance, an outstanding figure, and a lively personality. Most importantly, she can speak Chinese. This makes Lin Kedi feel that attending classes until 9 p.m. every night is not a bad thing. After the chat, it's time to study. 1 hour of English class and 1.5 hours of Dutch language class. Effie taught and discovered that Lin Kedi must have a very good language talent. Like Dutch, although he has never been exposed to it, he can quickly learn pronunciation and pronounce it with very standard pronunciation. You should know, this is very difficult. As for English, although Lin Kedi said his English is average, his pronunciation is indeed good, but his vocabulary and some expression issues can be solved over time. In short, after 2 classes, for Effie, Lin Kedi was a perfect student. Therefore, after today's class ended, Effie changed her mind. Xiao Lin, let's add a WeChat account. WeChat. Don't you use WhatsApp? I will eventually go to China in the future, so I adapted early. Okay, will you scan me or not? Let me scan you. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Are you coming to the party? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Are you coming to the party? Soon, it's Friday. Lin Kedi also experienced 4 days of school life and youth team training. In short, all of this has satisfied Lin Kedi. A harmonious campus life, without the bullying things in European and American campus movies. Of course, this is also related to Lin Kedi himself being the top of the campus ecosystem. After all, he is already a member of Ajax's youth training team. In a high school, this identity represents many things. It's just that Lin Kedi himself is not aware of it now. His thinking is still stuck in the school life in China, and he hasn't realized that the campus life in the 2 countries is quite different. The training life of the youth team is even more like a fish in water for Lin Kedi. Training is very enjoyable for him, apart from being tired every day. Lin Kedi has been fond of football since childhood, but has never experienced systematic training. Therefore, training in a professional youth team, although tiring every day, is actually a great pleasure for Lin Kedi. In addition, Lin Kedi has a resilient personality, so this kind of life makes him feel very happy. Friday afternoon is a fixed club day at Notre Dame High School. However, Lin Kedi did not join the club. After all, he is a youth training member of Ajax. But similarly, Friday's training day starts at 4 p.m. as usual. That is to say, Lin Kedi has almost 5 hours of free rest time from the morning after school to the afternoon when he goes to training. In fact, Lin Kedi doesn't care much about this rest time. He wants to go back to the dormitory to rest directly. However, as soon as I walked out of the teaching building, I heard someone calling my name. Lin Kedi looked in the direction of the sound and saw that it was Drinu Sano. Hi, Sano, what's up? Drinu Sano ran over and hugged Link. It's okay. But are you going back to the dormitory later? Yeah, there's nothing to do anyway. It's just a good time to go back to the dormitory and have a good rest. Minsk is going to have a party at his house soon. How about it? Are you coming? Have a party at noon. Yeah, he said he wants to go see a movie with his girlfriend after training at night. It's like a Spanish movie or a suspense movie. I even told him if he wanted to switch to a romance movie, but he said his girlfriend likes to watch suspense movies. It's controlled before she gets married. Do you know how to drink? After all, I see that the legal drinking age in the Netherlands seems to be 16 years old. I read the news that it seems like we're going to be promoted to 18 years old. But that's not the point. We're people who want to be professional players. Don't worry, those who pursue something won't drink during this time. That's pretty good. Sure, I went. By the way, I haven't attended these parties before. Do you need anything to prepare? Of course not, it's just a group of friends gathering together without any preparation, and it will take over 30 minutes from here to the Minsk house, so there's no time to prepare. So how do we get there? Of course it's driving. I brought a car and come with me. At this point, Lin Kedi realized that in the Netherlands, he could already obtain a driver's license at the age of 17. Seno is already 18 years old, and it may have been 1 year since he obtained his driver's license. By the way, you're only 15 years old this year. After a year and a half, when you're 16 and a half, you can start practicing driving and get your driver's license by the age of 17. If you want to learn how to drive, come to me and I'll introduce you to a cheaper one. The one I went to was a bit expensive, costing me 3,000 euros, and the one I went to Minsk was only 2,500 euros. My car only cost 7,000 euros. Lin Kedi followed Sano to the parking lot. I saw Sano walking towards a slightly old black Mercedes-Benz sedan. How are you, handsome? Well, it's quite handsome. Although I don't know much about cars, this car looks quite old no matter how it looks, Lin Kedi thought to himself. After getting into the car, Sano took out his phone and started making a phone call. Fernando, my brother. You can go downstairs now, we'll be there soon. Yes, Lin agreed to go, of course. As soon as Sano hung up the phone, he whistled and started the car. Does the captain not have a car? Why do you still need you to pick him up? Fernando has a car, but he is not yet 18 years old and has not yet reached adulthood. With a driver's license, he can only drive with his guardian in the same car. However, it's a bit troublesome. If you want to drive before the age of 18, you also need to take a companion pass. So it's more convenient for me to pick him up. After listening to Sano's explanation, Lin Kedi thought to himself, I'll go practice driving after I reach adulthood. Anyway, I'm currently living in a dormitory and there's not much place I need a car. Along the way, Sano kept talking. Lin Kedi thinks this is more comfortable. After all, it wouldn't be very fun if it were to remain silent. I picked up Fernando halfway through. Fernando's home is in an apartment. However, it is obvious that this apartment looks quite old. There are no gatekeepers at the door either. Lin Kedi has heard such a saying since the first day in the Netherlands. If an apartment doesn't have a doorman, it's not worth mentioning. This also shows that Fernando's family is definitely not wealthy. However, when Lin Kedi thought about the apartment his parents rented, which was far from the Fernando family's, his mood couldn't help but feel a bit heavy. Waiting at the door of Minsk's house. Although Lin Kedi had previously speculated that the Minsk family might be living in a villa when he heard Sano say that Minsk was hosting a party at home. But after arriving in this area, Lin Kedi discovered that this was not the so-called wealthy area. Because Lin Kedi saw a promotional message on a roadside billboard. This area is suitable for living. It is one of Armstrong's top 3 best communities for public security. In the Netherlands, the areas with good security are the affluent areas. This sentence was told to Lin Kedi by his parents. Lin Kedi, based on some of the information he researched after combining with himself, naturally believed in it deeply. By reverse engineering, one can naturally conclude that Minsk is wealthy. By the way, Sano, you may encounter Minsk's parents when you enter later. Do you know what his parents do? Upon hearing Lin Kedi's words, Sano didn't feel anything wrong either. What are you doing? I think I heard Minsk say that you're in the rubber business. So, before getting off the car, Lin Kedi quickly checked the person named Andy with his phone and added the keyword rubber. Quickly discovered a company called Leslie Andy Rubber Processing and Production Company. This company is also the second largest local rubber production company in Amsterdam. He still looks like a very wealthy tycoon. Lin Kedi followed Sino and Fernando into the home of Minsk Andy. As the host, Minsk naturally came out to welcome. Another hug. Then he led everyone to the swimming pool. The barbecue is already being done here. There are also 7.8 men and women in the swimming pool. At this moment, Sano patted Lin Kedi on the shoulder. Bro, have fun. Coming here is just relaxing. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Red Hair. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 10 Red Hair. After a brief period of discomfort, it was obvious that Lin Kedi still couldn't adapt well. After all, this place was full of unfamiliar people, and he had never attended such parties before. After eating some grilled meat, Lin Kedi walked into the room. This is a villa with 3 floors above ground and 2 floors underground. After obtaining permission from his owner Minsk, Lin Kedi walked inside the house. However, it is obvious that there is no one in the house at all, and Minsk's parents are also not there. Most of the people who came to the party were playing in the outdoor swimming pool and a nearby grassland. Coincidentally, Lin Kedi was also happy and quiet. Walking in the living room, there's nothing unusual about it. A big TV, a big sofa, a big carpet. Of course, it cannot be without the fireplace that is standard for wealthy families in European and American movies and TV dramas. Lin Kedi has little interest in all of this. It passed through the living room and dining room, with a corridor behind and 2 rows of houses next to it. Lin Kedi is not sure which one is the bedroom, so he dare not easily push the door in. Walk like this all the way. At the end of the corridor is a double-door room. A door is already open. Lin Kedi looked over and saw rows of bookshelves on the wall. So Lin Kedi walked over without hesitation. Although he has loved playing football since childhood, Lin Kedi has also enjoyed reading books since childhood. When his parents were not around when he was a child, Lin Kedi spent most of his time with books. Most Chinese parents will meet their children's demands for reading. At that time, Lin Kedi's favorite books to read were those related to science, especially those with illustrated biological guides. Often, one book could cover an entire afternoon. Lin Kedi's parents let him go when their son liked it. After all, reading is a good habit in their eyes. However, starting from the 3rd grade of elementary school, with physical education classes, Lin Kedi discovered the charm of the black and white ball and fell in love with football. Since then, football has gradually climbed to the top spot among Lin Kedi's favorite things. However, for so many years, the second place has always been books. There are many types of books that Lin Kedi likes to read now, including history, social sciences, and novels. After Lin Kedi stepped into this study, he scanned around and found that most of the books were in English, as well as some in Dutch and Spanish. In Lin Kedi's English proficiency, his reading ability is stronger than his listening and speaking ability, which is probably similar to many Chinese students. After flipping through these books, Lin Kedi found that there are many types of books, including medical, historical, and many novel genres. Lin Kedi took out a book called Eagle. I took out this book mainly because when Lin Kedi was at school a few days ago, he accidentally stumbled upon the 2015 New York Times 100 book list, which included a book called The Eagle, which ranked 2nd in the year. This book is a memoir-like book, and Lin Kedi took a look at the back cover introduction. It tells the story of Helen MacDonald, the author, who began domesticating eagles after her father's sudden death. Lin Kedi is preparing to open the main text. Suddenly, a sound of pushing the door came from behind. Lin Kedi turned around and the first thing that caught his eye was a red hue. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a woman with red hair. The woman in front of me is very tall, visually taller than Lin Kedi, looking as tall as 1.8 meters. She has thick red hair that drapes over her shoulders, shining like flames in the wind. Her eyebrows are very slender and well defined, like 2 curved smiles, making her expression even more moving. Her eyes are very bright, deep and charming. Overall, this woman is a secular beauty. However, Lin Kedi has always had some doubts about the age of white women. Because the woman in front of me looks like she's in her 20s. But just now I heard from my teammate that everyone participating in this party is of the same age. However, Lin Kedi is a polite person after all, and considering age is not a big deal. Then Lin Kedi took the initiative to greet the red-haired woman in front of him. "Hello, I am a teammate from Minsk. My name is. Can that guy from Minsk still have friends who like to read? I thought you guys who play football only like nicey and tippy hips. May I ask who you are?" Before Lin Kedi could finish his self-introduction, he was interrupted by the red-haired woman in front of him. His perception of the woman in front of him had already decreased a bit, so he couldn't get used to it and directly asked who he was. "My name is Janisa Endi, and now my younger brother is playing in the swimming pool with a group of young models outside. No wonder it looks like." Lin Kedi thought to himself, no wonder he doesn't look like a teenager anymore. "If you mind, I'll leave the study now. However, I have to say that the door to this room is open, and I've asked Minsk before that closed doors are not allowed to enter, open doors are allowed, so I came in. It looks like you're really different from my brother's old friends. But I haven't seen you at parties a few times before. Are you new to Ajax?" "I actually only joined the Ajax youth team for over a week. Which country are you from?" "South Korea." "Japan." "My younger brother had a teammate from South Korea before." "China, I am Chinese." "Chinese. I seem to remember, a few years ago, Ajax signed a Chinese. Are you that one?" "No, that Chinese person seemed to have transferred later, and you looked very young, probably not." "So how old are you?" Lin Kedi was a bit confused by Jennifer's jumping questions. But after all, the other party is the host, and Lin Kedi came here as a guest. Although he didn't have a good impression of Jennifer, now the other party is only asking questions and just answering. "I am 15 years old." "Are you 15 years old? Isn't that born in the new millennium?" The word, new millennium. Jennifer ignored Lin Kedi's roast and went on talking to herself. "You are 3 years younger than Minsk, and you are already his teammate. As I said, Minsk has no future playing football, coming back to take over the family business is the right path." Upon hearing these words, Lin Kedi neither responded nor remained silent. He didn't want to talk about other people's family matters, especially since he wasn't very familiar with Minsk. When Janisa saw Lin Kedi not speaking, her blue eyes twitched slightly and she changed the topic. "Do you like reading?" "My brother's friends, but they wouldn't even walk into the study by taking the wrong path. I really like it. Besides football, my favorite thing is reading. You speak English quite well. You chat quite quickly. My dad also said the same about me. But just keep up with the pace of my speech, you're doing very well." Upon hearing Janice's words, Lin Kedi thought to himself that this beautiful-looking woman is truly a typical image of a wealthy second-generation lady. "Well, Miss Jennifer, continue here. I'll go out and take a look first. What's fun outside? Why don't you sit here and chat with me? Or do you want to go out and play in the water?" As Janisa spoke, her eyes were fixed on Lin Kedi. Lin Kedi is a little worried. Lin Kedi knows that his appearance is good, and people who have learned about European and American countries from the internet or various domestic urban legends are very open. However, Lin Kedi doesn't think he can exude any charm in the conversation just a few minutes ago. "We're not very familiar either, and chatting can be quite boring." When it came to this, Lin Kedi's WhatsApp suddenly rang. Lin Kedi looked at the news and saw Sano looking for him. "So I happened to use this as an excuse to leave the study." Janisa couldn't help but feel a little happy as she looked at Lin Kedi's youthful expression. Janisa didn't know what was wrong with her. She was already 22 years old and had graduated from college. Suddenly, she had this feeling. When she saw Lin Kedi's back in the hallway just now, Jennifer had a very strange feeling. When she saw Lin Kedi's face, the strange feeling in her heart became even stronger. After talking about this period of uncertain days, Jennifer actually felt a sense of joy in her heart. Jennifer looked at the book Eagle, pulled out from the bookshelf and suddenly realized. I don't seem to know his name yet. End of this chapter.